Once again, welcome to the podcast series where we learn from the successful traders and business owners that what are the mistakes that we can avoid while doing trading or making a business. Also, what are the advice they can give as a beginner or to a professional level trader. All right. So today we have with us Krish, who was one of the best YouTubers, also an educator back in the day. Now he is more focused on his trading and business sites. So all and we are doing something like a gift for you guys, so that could be in the middle of the video or it could be at the end of the video. But anyway, without wasting any of your time, let's just jump to the screen. So tell me, how are you?
What? Doing well. I'm on the side here. I'm watching a trade that's probably about to hit stop loss. You're probably going to hear it in a second. It's probably say order filled. I'm currently testing out. I'm trading on the futures market. I'm trading on Top Step right now. I tried out my funded futures, and my first trial there, I got three payouts. Nothing too crazy,
Nice.
$1,000 each time, but there it
So
goes. Order
nice.
filled. Stop loss.
So
So,
okay,
and
as you mentioned about features, so what is the difference in forex and features as you're trading? Because I have no clue about it.
Yeah. So, futures is only the U.S. market basically. So the essentially stock market, indices and whatnot. And since I only trade the Nasdaq, there's no point for me to trade the Forex. Forex is foreign exchange, right?
Yeah.
Um, I own and it's much the reason I choose futures is because it's much more even across the board. It's the CME exchange. Everyone uses the CME exchange. There's no added spreads. There's no brokers that's add anything there, right? So you get the market conditions exactly how they are across the board, right?
All
Whereas
right.
in the forex world, a lot less regulation. You have freedom to do what you want as a broker, and that makes it a little bit more tricky when deciding which brokers to use.
All right. So that's some new information for me, and I think a lot of people here.
Yeah,
All right. So
yeah. Honestly, I would recommend if you only trade the Nasdaq or the S&P or something along those lines, futures is probably better. It's going to be more consistent and easier to trade. Um, but there's a little bit more rules, and I believe it's restricted for some people, but I'm not sure. I'm in Canada, so there's no restriction here.
okay. All right. All right. So can you just briefly introduce yourself to the people, like to my audience? Like here, most of the people, I think you've been out in the YouTube industry, I guess. For I think you did stop. I think generate making videos and stuff like that. I think you are focusing mainly on the trading side right now, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll give you a quick rundown. I quit my job doing IT work basically back in the day, and to start basically just full-time trading because I had gotten into crypto, and then I started teaching on YouTube for extra passive income. Right, large portion of my revenue was from crypto trading and crypto investing. Right,
Right.
Forex was something that I was teaching, and I was live trading and. Uh, I was okay, right? I was really experiment with the Euro USD, and then I found a niche with the Nasdaq, right? And the Nasdaq did me all right. Um, Now I'm switching over to the futures because there's fewer commissions on, and basically what I just said for just the Nasdaq, since I only trade the mornings of the Nasdaq. My trading strategy developed over time. I always played a persona of a super cocky trader back in the day. That image and that brand kind of did me wrong eventually after I started making a couple of my own mistakes, and the whole forex community is quite volatile, so it's difficult to be an online persona if you do mess up in any way, right?
Right.
um, so that really demotivated me. There's a lot of drama in the forex space that I eventually just quit that, and took most of the money I had made from crypto, and obviously I was doing course sales and whatnot too. I don't do those anymore.
Uh-huh.
Now trade. I do the crypto long term trading, and then I do the Nasdaq day trading. So I only trade about an hour in the morning for the NASDAQ. And then I run MavenTrading.com as well, which is a prop firm that's in the Forex space, right? So a few different sources of income now. No need to sell any courses, but I am wanting to get a little bit back into the education stuff again and start giving back to the community again. And this time, completely free, and hopefully I can help a couple people. The trading style has developed into something that's a little bit more just trend based, and determining the trend, and the entries aren't super important anymore. So
That's great. Like, I mean, that's good. I mean, back in the day in 2021, when I started watching you, like you were posting regarding your strategies and stuff, I did like it. I mean, you are quite honest about everything. So I like that about you. And that's why that was the main reason I still remember you and I still followed you on socials. So
yeah.
this time I started this podcast series. So I wanted to bring the traders who are successful right now and learn from them. So it's amazing to have you right now.
So I really tried to push the brand of honesty and everything, but as well be exciting and cocky and this aggressive character, right? And just being in that space, it's very, very difficult to make entertaining content that's clickable, that's honest, right?
Yeah,
Not many people want to watch that. A lot of people just want to watch the big flashy stuff, the Mamba FX sort of stuff, right? That's
yeah,
just ridiculous.
agreed. Like, for example, I have seen a lot of YouTube videos that have more views. They do not explain strategy. They do not explain risk management. They only show how you can flip this amount to that much. I mean,
It's something I'm realizing as I'm getting back. I'm starting to do shorts now. It's a large portion. People don't want trading content. They want trading themed entertainment, right? They want to be entertained. They want to have a story around trading, but they don't actually want to learn anything. Or if they do want to learn anything, they want it to be specific to what they already know. So they're attuned to ICT, right? Something like that. And if it's teaching something different than that, they reject it because they don't want to learn anything else. They just want to say, okay, this simple little trick, add it to your ICT, and that's all they're not going to do anything too difficult. And that's the problem with the whole industry is if you say anything makes people think, they're going to
yeah,
attack you.
agreed. Like, if I just make a video about ICT right now, I know my YouTube videos will get views, but they will start attacking me just because I made a bad video and it's truth. But yeah,
And that's a huge problem with my old Hunter FX brand. I'm walking away from the Hunter FX brand now, and it's just my first name now on my channel. And because I would do reaction videos, right? And then I would react to people and they would talk about like, ICT or something, and I'd be like, this makes no sense, right? And then you get
yeah,
all this hate. So all of the views are people hating you. And then the second you do anything wrong, which you will do, right? You're destroyed. And I destroyed myself basically at some point.
so like, okay, what will you advise me right now as I'm bringing a YouTube videos and making videos? So what will you advise me to do and create something that people will like it and it will be more honest and nice thing to bring?
Yeah, there's two content niches now. There's ultra long form and ultra short form. Nobody really cares about the 10-minute videos so much anymore. They want either the thing that they can listen to in the background, like a podcast, right? The
Yeah.
audiobook style stuff that they can listen to while at work, right? Or driving home or something, right?
Uh-huh.
What I like to do is I like watching those rise and fall videos of whoever X and X, right? As I'm going to bed, right? And
Uh,
then I just listen to it. So I'm not actually watching. So those style, you don't need to edit at all, right?
yeah.
That's my opinion. It's just an audiobook basically. Um, or the ultra short form, which I'm sure there's still a niche on like the five minute videos on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
But those videos, it needs to be entertainment now. And if you are going to teach something, make it 25% of it at the very end, right? You want the watch time, you want to entertain people, and then give them the actual golden nugget at the very end. Because if you start with the trading, nobody gives a shit. They want to see, they want to have the dopamine hit. They want to see this is what you could do. They want to attach themselves to a story, right? This is my journey. right? Of whatever, right? And then they bond with that, right?
Right, right, right. I understood that. So, people, if you don't know, here Krish is with me, and he's an owner of a Maven Profform, and which is a really good Profform. Like, as much as I have heard about it, it's a really nice one. So, quickly, like people who don't know about Profform, and just quickly do a rundown. What is a Profform, and how you guys operate, and what makes you different than the other Profforms?
Totally. So the idea of prop firm basically stemmed out of the idea that, okay, you, for example, as a client, are a profitable trader that is new. Okay. You're newly profitable. You have $1,000, maybe 2,000, but whatever. You have a little bit of money, but that much money is not enough money to live off of, right? So you spend that money because you've just found this strategy that you've proven has worked, right? You spend it on a prop firm, you pass the challenge, prove to us that it works, and then we give you money to trade with, and we do a profit split. Now, the new age of prop firms, it's essentially turning into an evaluation firm, a little bit different. Nobody actually a-books you. Nobody actually copies your funds, your account to live markets. It's basically being prop firm versus client, right? So it's a little bit different here. There are some scenarios where you can actually use client data for your benefit if you have large data sets, or if you have one crazy good trader that's been consistent for years, right? But
Right.
ultra rare. Okay. So it's basically, we're putting rules into place that are going to reduce, generally, we, as the whole industry,
Mm-hmm.
reduce the number of people who can get a payout, so that the cost covers all of the payouts, right? And that's how all of the firms are operating. They have to have enough rules in place that only the best traders can get payouts, right? And ultimately, it's a really good system that way, because it's a means for good traders to fast track themselves to profitability. Okay. So it's still a beneficial service. It's not necessarily A versus B. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
client versus prop. It's, we are deciding who gets to get paid. Okay.
All
Basically
right.
by the means creating rule sets, right? Maven, we've designed it in a way that we don't allow certain sort of forms of gambling, right? We want people with proper risk management, right? So the rules that we have in place are basically around, making sure you don't go all Hail Mary bets, you don't use martingale, you think like this, right? And Maven is the difference between Maven and other firms is the way that we've actually branded is um, sort of an educational sort of platform. It's an entry level one. It's much cheaper than a competition, but it's basically for the purpose of teaching people how to trade with large capital. It's a little bit different than actually, the goal of like you getting rich off of us. Once you get so much money, you now have that money you can trade on your own with, right? That's how we kind of set it up. If you go 100,000, once you get $100,000 from us, you graduate, right? It's a little bit different if you actually look at our rules there, where we're not guaranteeing you to have these massive, crazy payouts, because again, we're very risk adverse. We don't want people who are gamblers,
Yeah.
right? And that makes us be able to lower the cost compared to other firms, right? So we're the entry level provider. We are the Walmart of prop firms. We have insane volume. I think like 25K orders a month at this point, right? And and that way we can actually provide the service that we guarantee that we can provide.
All right. Sorry. So, like, as you explain about like your platform is different, like I understand what you mean by ebook, paybook, and platform versus client thing. So,
Yeah.
if I was a beginner, so you're basically saying that your platform will help you to understand like how you can grow money like step by step, not just you will get a crazy earning like from $10,000 to 40 or 50, not like that. You will. So and
Yeah.
also you mentioned you are getting on education side. So how is your platform helping on the education side? Do you provide any resources for that specially, or?
Yeah, so we are building out various education platforms. That is our goal, like to be the entry level, help people learn how to trade. Basically, I'm an educator in myself, right? So I'm creating content now along that lines. We also have a psychology coach that is creating content on the side there. We do weekly spaces, live events where people can ask questions. There's thousands of people in there every single week. It's a different topic every week. We have a blog on the website. We are going to be making even more content. I've literally just bought a whiteboard. It's in the background over here so I can start doing all this stuff. And so,
Nice.
the whole brand is not this luxury thing. Whereas all of these other prop firms are like, okay, you're going to get paid out $1 million. We're like, no, we want to teach you. You make a little bit of money on us, and then you're good to go on your own. That's the
Yeah.
idea. Slightly different.
Nice. That is like, I think that is important thing to educate yourself. But I think nowadays people that don't understand, because for an example, my YouTube channel and Discord, everything I'm doing is totally free. But I don't
Yeah.
think so people do care when it's free. Like when you provide it with a price number tag, like something like that, okay, then they will be
Yeah.
curious what they are giving it.
Yeah.
So I mean,
And it's quite funny. The interpreted value of something that's higher cost is quite interesting. People will just intrinsically think that the higher cost item is more useful, right? But it's difficult in this world because everyone is providing free content now, and how do you pick and choose? Because it's literally contradicting each other. Everyone contradicts each other, right?
yeah. So
So I suppose with your free content, what's interesting is there's always going to be somebody that wants like a extra service, right? And I tried to do a signal group back in the day where I hired on a bunch of traders, and ultimately that blew up in my face because everyone just fucks up eventually. You know what I mean? Like everyone
yeah,
fucks up at some point, and that really it wasn't even like I was one of the traders, and then there was multiple traders. So whenever one of them does bad, like my service gets branded pretty bad. So you can't be liable for people's funds, right? That's my opinion. Even though there's so many signal groups, and then most of them are just completely bullshit, and it's very, very difficult to actually make money on signals, right?
yeah,
And
agree.
people do want paid services, right? Because they're just going to ignore you with your free content. So you got to
Agree.
largely make educational content or entertainment content, and then make the education like these private packages.
Agree. So as you mentioned signals and stuff like that, have you seen the recent incident related to Dontvoo?
I don't even know who that is.
So he was doing he was doing the live stream for, you can say, 3 to 4 years, and this guy made a reputation like a really good one on YouTube. So and he had all live record and everything. He was consistent and everything was good. And he was even promoting a broker, I can say, Blueberry. But I think it's a regulated broker. So he started an MAM system, which was like they were people can put the account into under his. So minimum deposit was $5,000, and people ended up giving like their entire savings, like $50,000 or more. Even I have heard the numbers that are more than that. So he lost everything just in 20 to 30 days.
It's insane.
I mean,
That is such an insane Hail Mary. Like, sure, you can make mistakes, but that is fucking insane.
like this guy made his name on YouTube and everything was set for, like he was making nice amount of money through his course and stuff like that, also making money through YouTube. I don't understand why there was people saying he had a deal with a broker and stuff like that, but there's no proof yet. So I don't know what to say. But it's hard to trust someone when they are doing such a long term thing and they just blow up on the faces.
Man, there's no way you can make money just relying on somebody else to do it for you. Like that
Yeah.
doesn't exist.
People don't understand that. You know what? Like today, even just go out there and say like, I will take your money. People will be throwing money at you. Like I don't know what to say. They
So here's a scenario. Like put it in your perspective here. Let's say you are a profitable trader that's making consistent amount of money, 10% a month. Okay.
yeah
Your friend comes up to you and says, "Hey, can I give you $1,000 and you can trade for me. What are you going to say?
To be honest, this already happened, like not just one time. There are 2 to 4 friends who just ask me, like, I can give you $1,000. Can you trade for me? I was like, I'm not taking any investment because I don't want, because like I will explain why I'm not taking those money, because that will give me a pressure on my head that I need to
Yep.
make it, and I don't want that.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You would never say yes. Somebody profitable would never say yes to taking people's money
Right, that's true. Like,
because it fucks their head and they're already making money, right? Like once you're profitable, making decent, like you make insane money, right? Insane amounts of money. I'm not that good. I make a little bit, right? So I really outsource mostly to Maven and my investments. My day trading is more of a hobby where I make little bits of cash, right? There's no fucking chance I'm gonna risk somebody else's money on that, first of all. And then if I was really, really good, right, and somebody approaches me and they're like, I'll give you $10,000 and you can take 10% of the profit. Fuck you. I don't want 10% of the profit. I have money already.
agree. Right.
You're gonna add pressure to me just for fucking 10% of your measly $10,000? What am I gonna make? $100 extra a month for pressure? Fuck you. Yeah,
So, like, as you started, like, since you have transitioned from trading being profitable and then starting a business right now, it's a profitable one. I hope so. But how was the transition? What I mean,
stay in business for years if it wasn't profitable.
yeah, actually, yeah, I think how long it's been, like, since you started the Profom?
The original concept came February 2022, so 2.5 years. We
Nice.
launched just the official launch date was December 5th, 2022. So we're coming up on the official launch date of 2 years, right? But we did pre-sales and everything starting in fall, right? Or a few months before. So yeah, 2 years.
Nice. I mean, pretty good thing.
It's a wild thing. A year ago, September last year is when we first saw MFF downfall. And the second we seen that happen, Maven, we took a step back and we're like, wait a second, there might be something going wrong here, right? Everyone is just in the glory days. And since I've been in crypto for what, 11 years now, right? I've seen this over and over and over again. So I was like, holy crap, everyone is doing this wrong, right? Ourselves basically included, right? So we took a
Yeah.
step back and we're like, we got to reevaluate everything, right? We got a lot of flack because we made some rule changes back a year ago, okay, and kind of branded ourselves the way that we branded now, right? And people hated it at first. There was a lot, and then you know what? Everyone else collapsed. Everyone else collapsed. We
That's
haven't made any changes in a year, right? No changes in a year. We've been making money every single month, extra money, and then we're putting that into a vault, right? And then we're putting another vault aside for emergency funds. So we have 2 vaults.
that's nice. I mean, see, again, you are too honest and saying things that is like, I don't think people discuss about back end things. So I really like that. So let's say as a newbie and buying a prop from challenge, all right. So what would you advise them and to take care of the challenge and do it better than the other newbie?
Yeah. Yeah, if you're brand new, the most common issues I see are not understanding the rules, specifically any trading restriction rules. So Maven, for example, here's one of ours. You can only place a bet 4 times in a row, right? On the same pair. So you can only have the same pair open 4 times. The fifth time, that means you've been playing martingale, and you're gonna have to restart the account. Basically, we don't just scam you, right? We just tell
Yeah.
you can start again for free, right? um the other really common one is not understanding the trailing drawdowns, right? The drawdowns, one steps are usually a trailing drawdown, which means it kind of goes with your account, right? Rather than having a static drawdown where
All
the
right.
account goes
Okay. Okay.
there. But in terms of trading style,
Mhm.
you want ultra high hit rate. Okay. You don't want to be playing lower hit rate because that makes it very, very difficult to trade with a prop firm because you have the drawdown restrictions. Okay. When you're trading with your own capital, it's a little bit different because you can just decide how much drawdown you're willing to lose. But
Yeah.
especially when you only have like the 8-10%, whatever it is for your prop firms, um, you can only lose essentially 5 times in a row, right? So you need to make sure that you have a an account that probably wins 60-70% of the time. So I'd be shooting for 2 hour maximum, 1 to 2 hour max trades, right?
It's
That's my advice.
actually, I like the idea of making a 4 trade and max out. So because people who started trading, they get emotional and everything, they get more into our trades. So I think 4 is enough to you know
4 is tons. You'll only ever need to DCA 1 or 2 times, right?
yeah.
4 is our extra buffer, and then 5 means you've obviously been gambling and you don't know how to take a loss. So
Agree.
that's why we put it in place. All of our rules are just to get rid of people who don't know how to trade, right? That's the point of the prop firm, right? If you don't know how to trade, you shouldn't get a payout.
Yes, right,
It's
100%.
simple.
It is. So like, what are your plans for the future right now? Like, how are you taking this? Are you coming back to YouTube? Are you doing something different this time, or
Yeah.
you know?
I've been on TikTok personally, so I'm doing more education again, and a little bit like kind of entertainment. I'm doing a series right now where I'm getting my peacock to try. I got a few peacocks.
So,
Get my peacock to choose my trading decisions. So we're just having fun for my personal brand right now and trying to just because I don't need to sell courses, nothing like this. I don't need to prove I can trade. I can trade okay. I'm not that good. But hopefully one day I will be that good, and then I can just sit at home and trade for an hour a day. That's like every 21-year-old kid says they can do. I've been doing this for 7 years.
it's 21.
You don't do that when you're 21. You do that when you're 40. Okay.
I'm 21. I'm 21.
There you go. Exactly. Like, and you said at the start of the call, like you're just like kind
At a
of
break
here and
even.
there, right?
Yeah, I'm not
There's no
making
21-year-old kid that's like
showing the
just making money. They could be making money. He could be making money. Preface it, but he's not just making money from trading. It doesn't exist.
agreed. Like
uh,
they should have extra income source to show
yes,
the lifestyle.
and that was largely when I was doing YouTube. That's why I was like, that's why I sold courses. That's why I did the mentorship sort of stuff. Right? Is because I had income from investing in crypto. I kind of played around with Forex. I made like, you know, peanuts basically, right? All the money comes from the sales. All the money comes from
All
the
right.
sales, and then you invest with that money, right? You're still educating people. It's just it's
But
it, it's very obvious, how
I
much
think
value you can provide.
I think for the people saying that you don't need to sell course if you are making money, but this is the stuff that we are actually putting work into, and then we are selling it. It's still our work there, and it's years of thing, because I
Sure.
understand it's years. Because trust me, just to make one strategy, a finalized strategy where you like it, you know how to take exit and enter into a trade. It took me 2 to 3 years. Right now, I can say that I have a proper strategy that I used, and
Yeah,
it's at break even. But I'm still modifying every time.
yeah.
It's different. But yeah, it
That,
is
that
years of
that's
things.
that's how you're supposed to do it, man. Like when I started finding this sort of, I get break even too, and then you just keep adjusting things, right? Keep
Yeah.
adjusting things, make it more and more simple. Honestly,
Yep.
um,
Yep. So
I,
another
Mhm.
question, which is how do you think will, as there is a lot of things happening in the technology or industry, especially like AI, and you can say automating trading things. So what would you say about those things? Like, have you ever been interested into those things?
and AI.
Yeah. Do you think it will change into trading anyway? Like, it will impact trading in any way?
Um, there's already algorithms out there that can trade better than you. if you are a tech guy and a coder and you get into quanting and AI, sure, that's going to be useful in some way. You are not, you being just some dude, trading at his computer, it won't affect you, right?
All right.
Um, AI is never going to be able to predict how the market's going to, like, it's not going to be able to be better than what we already have. You know what I mean? That's my thought. Because we already have something that's very ultimately, you know, acts immediately. So how do you go faster than immediate, right?
Yeah. Right. Right.
And
I,
it's not
I
going to
I
be able to
understand.
look at old data and understand new data better because we already have algorithms for that, right? Uh, so you as a trader, it's still going to look the exact same. I guarantee AI is already being used, right? It's all the
Yeah.
same. It's just all you need to know as a trader is find some sort of system that makes money. Here's my number one advice that um for traders. Okay, so here's the number one advice for actually making money. Take longer term trades, right? I trade the monthly candles on Bitcoin. I'm getting a lot of flack from somebody right now. He's been spamming me on Twitter. They're basically, you know, calling me an idiot because I sold all my crypto, right? And it's gone up 5% today. Okay, who cares? I trade only when it's low risk, right? So that's how you do really, really well is do long-term trades and then just follow the trend. There's two things. Figure out a way to determine the trend and then make those decisions very rare. Okay.
Right. So and you mentioned like you've been into crypto for 10 years. So what are your thoughts on like current BTC or Ethereum new coins coming out? Do you think like it will stay in long run and it will replace the current currencies we have or
Yeah, sure. There'll be more advancements with I think government's going to make a currency, right? There's going to be some sort of fiat cryptocurrency that's going to be regulated by the government. That's really unfortunate because then cash is going to be gone, right? And now everything is 100% tracked. It's going to be quite difficult, to keep anything anonymous, right?
right?
If it's Bitcoin or Ethereum, no, it's not. It's not going to be those, right? It's not going to be. They're not very efficient for massive scale, right? And you might think, hey, they're pretty dang fast right now. Well, you know what? If you look at the transfer times for today, it's an hour and a half. So how are you going to pay for your coffee if you have to wait an hour and a half, right?
Agreed. So even right now, I think in Dubai they started accepting cryptocurrency. Like
Yeah.
I, I mean, like I don't understand like how they are converting things. So if cash is going to be replaced in some day, at what point they will convert with currencies? Gold, maybe.
Yeah, so Bitcoin's notoriously like the gold. It's a slower moving thing, right? That doesn't really um, there's no more new of it, right?
Uh-huh.
If we're going to be paying with something, let's say for example you're paying with Bitcoin, right? I know they do that in El Salvador, right? There's means to getting around the slower transfers. First of all, right now it's only slow right now because the network is bogged down. The network's going to get faster and faster over time, right? The other thing it can do is like I pay personally. I have a crypto account. What it does is it holds the crypto, but then it will pay on a credit based off of that crypto. So 1/3 of my crypto balance is usable for cash, and then I have to pay the credit card off that way, right?
All
So it
right.
can still be instant. It's still through the Visa chain, right?
Yeah.
It's just backed by crypto,
All
basically.
right. Understandable. So and you think that like as you said, like government is launching their own in future they will. So do you think if everything will be trackable, then what about the Bitcoin and the Ethereum? Like those currencies are not trackable, or they are trackable as well?
They're trackable. It's all trackable.
All
It's
right.
It's just going to be government owned, centralized, right? So
Yeah.
Bitcoin is decentralized, right? Still trackable. You can track where all the transactions went. The difference when it's centralized is the government's going to have full control over everything. they could shut you down and freeze your wallet if they wanted to, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be the same as having a bank account, which, if you don't pay your taxes, your bank account gets frozen because the
Got
government
froze.
has access to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Understood.
They can't
Understood.
freeze your Bitcoin though,
Oh,
right?
okay. All right. It's a. I
Yeah,
mean,
because
it's
it's
pretty
decentralized.
interesting. Crypto is still
So
pretty
essentially, if
interesting.
you know Ripple, do you know Ripple?
Yeah.
That's a centralized one, right? So it's going to be something similar to Ripple.
All right.
You know,
Okay.
I'm not some nerd crypto guru, but that's my perspective.
I'm not I don't have much knowledge about crypto, but I do want to dive in and learn more about it because it is something that is nowadays like usable every day because even myself including I use it to get any transaction and I just convert it into cash directly.
I'm in Canada, and I'm probably the first person I know that doesn't use banks at all. I have no bank account,
Damn. All right.
and I have no credit card. I have a crypto backed credit card, and I have a crypto wallet,
How do you
and I
get
pay
the
for everything
crypto?
with that.
How do you get the crypto credit card? I mean, like, how does that work? So,
The crypto credit card, it's crypto.com.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's the credit card I use. And then it
So,
just holds the value there. And then I have other wallets too that I can wire my funds to basically. And then so I get the funds there, and then I put them on the credit card so that I can pay for things. I have
okay,
zero need for a bank account now.
that's new way of you know doing things. All
Yeah,
right. So,
and
so
yeah.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So like if I needed cash for something, um, like you can basically just withdraw from the credit card, or I do have a means that I can just wire funds, and then it'll go to it like there's an ATM I can use that is like attached to something, right?
All right.
It's not a physical bank, but I can basically wire it and then pull out from a bank ATM. There's a partnership with Scotiabank that I can withdraw from their ATMs basically.
Nice. All right. I didn't know about that. Like, we can withdraw directly cash from the
Kind of,
crypto.
yeah. I mean, there's different options, but I don't have a physical bank or anything like that. I have a financial institution that's kind of online. That's for kind of emergencies, but I don't use it day to day.
Right. All right. Okay. Okay. So, like, back to the main trading thing. Now we're gonna leave the crypto because okay. So about the forex trading, like, what are your thoughts? And now you're like, how this industry going to be in future or right now?
Yeah, sure. Um, Firms are taking over. They're going to take over the space of the brokerage, right? And how things generally go is it's more and more retail over time. We started trading, right, as essentially central banks trading between each other and then having, kind of these stock markets that were physical places, right? The
Yeah,
trading floor or whatever. And you had to trade full lots, right? So that's $100,000, and then we came down to, the mini lots and the micro lots, right? And it becomes more accessible that way. Brokerages came to be and started to,
building things.
recruiting retail clients for very, very low, right? Like low buy-ins, basically. Now the prop firm is an even lower, faster, more accessible means for retail buyers, right? Because you can have, credit card and then go boop, right?
Yeah,
And now you have $50,000 to trade with, rather than signing up for a brokerage, getting approved, then walking down to the bank, sending a wire transfer, waiting another 3 days, and then you can start trading, right?
right.
And then the amount that you can trade is $1,000, right? Instead of $50,000, right? So it's much more realistic for your average man, right? That's why Maven kind of branded this way as the entry level, right? It's
Yeah,
the one that we want. We want to be like, we're not going down the same route as FTMO. FTMO was a very niche thing. This is what we're going to do if you're already in the forex space. We're trying to introduce people into the forex space, right?
right. All right. So about the prop firm industry, like, what kind of a Proffor rules, or something that traders should know and stay away from the Proffor, or like how they can know that you should stay away from Proffor like this ones, and
Yeah,
so what
yeah.
would you say
Um,
on that?
well, yeah, I'll basically say this: if there's anything cheaper than Maven, it's not able to sustain.
All right.
Maven has set up specific things that other prop firms are not able to do, right? So we are
Uh-huh.
basically the lowest. We also have a insane volume, right? So, there might be 3 firms with more volume than us in terms of how many people are ordering. So we are making, cents basically compared to the other firms. The other firms are making good amount of money per sale. We have to make it back in volume, okay?
Right.
So any firm that comes out with the same prices or less, it's not possible. Okay. I'm not going to say the S word, but it's not, you can't sustain for a long period of time like that. A shirt, run a sale, whatever. I don't care. You're losing money if you go below what our prices are. Right.
All
Um,
right. Okay.
the next thing is the industry's pretty much set a standard of what the rules are, right? People have been kind of playing around. This is the drawdown. They're trying different things, the payout structures, different rules, right?
Mhm.
It's becoming more and more niche,
Yeah.
right? Not niche, tighter. Everyone does the same thing pretty much
Yeah.
at this point. So there's, the only firms that remained after this, prop firm winter, we all have the same rules, right?
Yeah.
So when you're deciding on a firm, there's very, very little difference between them. So if you find somebody who is something that is very different, again, there better be a good dang reason why they're very different, and maybe their market conditions are horrid, you know, maybe they pay out only 50% or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like after
There
some
needs to be a good reason because as I said at the beginning of the call, nobody a books.
nobody.
Nobody.
So like
Uh
for the newer audience here, like if they don't understand how Proffor does the A book or B book, can you explain on that? Like,
Yeah. So A booking, B booking is uh, everyone thinks when they first get into the prop firm space, okay, the profit split is so that the firm can make some money and the trader can make some money. The reality is nobody is being shared to live markets, right? First of all, in the Forex world, it's different in futures. Okay. In the Forex world, you open up a whole new book of worms if you start live trading funds, right? That is a huge legal thing. So FTMO is probably or Fivers or maybe are the only people that even do this at all, really. Um, and you need to have somebody who's been there super, super consistent. So to put somebody on the live market means you need to be positive they're not going to lose you money, right? Because generally everyone eventually will blow the account. Okay. And
yeah.
then they have to start again. Right. So you're going to lose that money that you've just backed them with. Okay. So it's a much higher risk of losing that money than just paying them out over a course of time. Right. Um, what you can do, the caveat here is you can use data. So that's part of the reason why Maven is so data heavy and we have huge volume is we can then use that data for our internal hedging purposes. Right.
All right.
So you can make money off of trader data, but to have a
So
one-to-one mirror doesn't really exist.
all right. So you mentioned that data, like so you record the data and analyze through that how traders will react.
Yeah, we can use the data however we want. We can quant it, basically to help
Okay.
cover the payouts, right? So the more traders on our platform, the more consistent that data is, and we can get a means of what the average trader is doing. Okay,
Yeah, understood. Okay. So do
and
you think?
just so you know, it's more complicated than just doing the opposite of the average trader. That doesn't work.
All
You can't just counter trend trade everyone. It doesn't work either.
all right. Okay. So regarding like Proffor, so what are the differences? Like, have you ever been to a hedge fund, or so what are the differences between the this Proffor industry that is coming, or and the hedge funds that I have been since around from 90s, I guess.
Well, a hedge fund is trading money, right?
Yeah.
They're a fund of usually external investors, right? A
Yeah.
hedge fund is going to have this giant fund of money, and then they allocate the funds through different means of investments. They might hold some Bitcoin, 10% Bitcoin, 10% S&P. Maybe they buy some Tesla, some uranium. Who cares, right? And and then they shift over time based off of longer term
Yeah.
positions. Originally, what a prop firm was a trading floor where you buy a desk. Each trader buys a desk, and you have all these different terminals, right? And then they all trade, and then the guy on the top basically says, "Hey, I'm going to decide who gets pushed to the live market," right? And those traders had to be profitable. Now,
Oh, right.
the reason why that worked and it doesn't work now is because those traders were really, really good, right? They were like, the top 10 traders in the world, sort of thing, right? Where
Yeah.
they're able to be consistent. Now, with prop firms, 99% of people aren't good enough to be consistent forever, right?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like 99, like not only one, like more than 1% make money on a payout, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But over a long period of time, pretty much nobody is good enough to do it forever.
Yeah.
Right?
They cannot be consistent enough to hold that account for a year, I guess.
Yeah.
That's not possible.
Yeah.
Agreed. So, so the can we change this? Like, I mean, to be honest, having an account and building an record through it. So, can a trader be profitable enough to have that funded account for a year? Like, is it because of the rule that everyone have, like 7 to 8% drawdown rule? Because of that, people lose the account, or daily consistent rule or something like that?
Yeah. There's been nobody who's ever been on Maven for a year without blowing an account.
No one. Till now, no one.
No,
Wha-
nobody.
So if you can say, like, how long they have maintained the account, like how long? Maximum month, 2 month, 3 month?
Well, yeah, a lot of people can be on for multiple months, but the way like because you can still be a profitable trader, but to maintain the same account for a year is ridiculous in the prop firm space, right? Um, because you're gonna make a mistake and you're gonna go on
Yeah.
a 10% drawdown, right? At some point, right? So nobody's gonna do that, but they can make a shitload of money, close the account, and then get a new one, right? I
Right.
think when I traded on futures, I had it for 4 months, right? So a really good trader is gonna have it for a few months, and then they're gonna have to reset because they're gonna fuck up, right?
All right. So every even the best trader does make mistake even in long run. Like 4 to 5 months is the max.
Yeah. Yeah, usually if you're a really, really good trader, you
Hmm.
can be consistent for a few months in a row.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about, like, inside, like, when once we do get the account from, let's say, Maven Profform, and what are the spreads, and how is the execution speed compared to a broker? Like, how does it work for you? Do you guys
It's the
rely
same.
on a broker, or?
So um hmm. So there's different ways to do this, right? You can, as a prop firm, you can become your own server and your own broker and whatnot, and offer that and own the own server, and that's the exact same as being a broker. The difference is when it comes to funding people with their money. Okay, you know what I mean? So you need different licensing to be a broker to hold their funds. Okay, for what we do, because it's just a simulated environment, it's essentially some glorified game, right?
Hmm.
um it's a lot easier, and that's why there's firms can just pop up, and then they can attach themselves to brokers, okay, so that they can use that broker because they have the license to manage that, okay,
All
and
right.
then you can just basically but yeah,
Okay.
in terms of what the difference is going to be, there's not going to be any difference, right, for your user side. The prop firm can add markups, just the same as the broker can add markups, just the same as the liquidity provider can add markups.
Okay. And what are the spreads on the Proffor? Let's talk about.
Whatever they decide. So you could go direct to liquidity provider if you want. You could go through a brokerage, or you could, you know, so there's three parties that get to decide the fee, right? So the liquidity provider has some sort of spread, right? And then that's going to be your raw spreads, right? And then the
Okay.
broker can offer raw spreads, which then they add commission to, right? So that they still make money. And then the prop firm can do the exact same. So you got three people who get to
Understood.
choose the price.
Understood. So, like, let's say if they want to join Maven Proffor, right? So, how's the process is, and what is the account size, and give us as like a basic introduction on the
Yeah.
rules or things like that, so people just, you know.
Super easy if you guys want to go buy right now, maventrading.com, right? What you're going to do is you're going to scroll down, and every prop firm is the same. There's different account sizes. Ours range from 2K to 100K. And then you get to choose if you want, a one step or a two step, right? A two step is what most people choose, because the rules are on the drawdown are a little bit easier. With the one step, you get the psychological advantage of only having to do it once, right? Before you're funded. But the drawdown is a lot tighter and it trails, right? So that's how pretty much all prop firms will work. You then pay for that. You get to choose which, trading terminal you like. Some people have MetaTrader. We don't, because it's not allowed. Okay. So the firms that do have MetaTrader are basically FTMO and the other guys who were grandfathered in with like old server licenses. MetaTrader shut down for prop firms. They don't exist anymore. So you can't get a license. Okay. It's not possible.
Okay.
And if somebody does get a new one, it's because they are basically breaking the rules. They're piggybacking off of somebody else, and they're both going to get shut down. All right. And then there's other trading terminals: C Trader, Match Trader, Trade Locker, DX Trade, right? Some different options, right? So
Yeah.
you choose your trading terminal. They're all basically the same.
So which one you
And
guys offer, like C Trader or?
C Trader and Match Trade. I like Match Trade personally.
Oh, right.
C Trader is too nerdy for me. I like the very simplistic entry level things.
Okay, all right. I have used C Trader, but I have not tried Match Trader, I think.
Match Trader is the new sort of standard for prop firms, because they really after MetaTrader shut down, they were really fast to set everyone up, and they're cheaper than the competition, right? So
Uh,
everyone just jumped on Match Trade immediately, and everyone has Match Trade, right?
right. Okay. So, what will be the advice from you to any beginner, advanced trader, anyone who's coming to this industry and trading? So, what would be your advice to them? Like, one advice, what will you give to them?
I'm not going to give some stupid advice like keep trying that everyone says. You can always trace your dreams. It's just silly.
Right.
Um, the advice is kind of a twofold sort of thing. The one side, don't listen to nobody else, right? When somebody says, this killer strategy, it's bullshit. It's always bullshit, right? And you can take ideas from concepts people have in the space and then start developing your own. Okay. So the only way you're ever going to make money is to develop your own strategy over the course of the next 4 years. Okay. It's the only way. You're not going to go on YouTube and be like RSI MACD crossover, right? And then somebody on YouTube who, you know, is 14 is going to teach you how to trade. No, 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 no. If you're going to listen to anyone, listen to people who are older, because they've been doing this long enough and at least had some more experience, right? Anyways, you got to come up with your own ideas. And if you can't come up with your own ideas, you might as well start cooking, because that way you can follow a recipe that teaches you how to make something, because there's no recipe in this game, right? It's you coming up with an idea and then applying it, right? So a three-step process: come up with the idea, go to the chart and see if it works, okay? Find rules that you can follow, and you can look over the course of a lot of data points to see if it works, okay? Your third challenge is the most difficult now. Is after you found something that works, you got to apply it, and you're not going to be able to, so you're going to have to keep making adjustments over time, right? The application is the most difficult part because you're gonna fuck it up.
Agreed. Like that, the process that you explain, I'm on the third part, and I'm keep making changes. So
And I know what position you're in. You're in the process of you have a back tested strategy that works,
yeah.
but every time you apply it, it doesn't work.
It's like, I mean, so I have limited myself here. Like I only take one trade a day. Like I know, because in the past couple of months I have analyzed my things, because on YouTube I have shared everything. Like I have lost multiple funded account. It's everything there. Like I have never gone and said like I have not lost it. Even if I lost, I just said on the video and said like we lost it. This was the reason I did over trading. And due to the fact that I'm documenting everything here, so I know myself that whenever I go above like 2 or 3 trades, that is the time, like next day I just blow up the account, because I take more
Yeah.
trades after that.
So here's the glorious thing about trading that everyone kind of touches on. Um, we're all gambling addicts, right? Every single one of us. There's no way you're going to be able to do this for longer than 3 months and not be an addict to it, right? Uh, so what does that mean? It means you need to go to therapy, right? You need, and I'm not even joking, man. Like, to have like practices that, like, I thought this, I used to think this was ridiculous, but like I meditate, I pray, and I journal. Nothing to do with trading every single day, all day, pretty much. I pray various times a day, right? And I just reflect so much now. And to be able to be in your mind and paying attention to your emotions all the time, which therapy helps with, right? Then you can better control your mind when you're trading. So, uh, and then the other thing with this is, you said you only take one trade a day. That's perfectly fine. What can also work, because a lot of people might, think one trade a day is like annoying. Set like
Yeah,
1 hour a day. You know what I mean? Like, don't trade longer than like one. You choose one thing to do, and then you can't think about trading for the rest of the day. And then that's when again the addiction control comes in, right? Because we're always thinking about how much money I'm losing or gaining. You need to be able to reject it and control that pain, right? Because we're all just fiends to that emotional response, right? And to be able to sit in pain for a while is the most difficult thing, right?
right. Agreed. 100%. Like this is the second time, guys. Keep in mind, this is the second time on the podcast a guy have said that having a discipline, especially like whatever you do in your life, like, go to gym if that is your thing, go to do meditation. Like even last time I had a guy on a podcast, he have mentioned that he go to the gym, and that is as the best meditation he got in his
Yeah.
daily routine. So
Well, I block my days into different sectors, right? So my morning,
mm,
first hour and a half, trading. Okay. That's anything to do with trading. Then I do my meetings, right around now, meetings, calls, whatever. Um, Afternoon is like get out of the house, socialize, exercise, right? And then evening is my calm, meditative, reflective time, right? So I have 4 different blocks throughout the day, and I don't ever cross over anything, right?
that's
So
nice.
now I'm talking to you, I can be focused on you. When I'm trading, I'm focused on that, right? And that's been really productive for me.
All right. Actually, that is a really good, even advice, and learn from the traders who have been successful in the businesses, and also sharing their thoughts. It's pretty amazing. So, I mean, for the last part, like, if you want to say something regarding prof firm, yourself, or traders to the community, whatever. So, just go for it.
Yeah, no, there's nothing really to be said, guys. You'll find your journey eventually based off of what you're gonna need here, right? So, um, you know, practice mindfulness, practice meditation. This helps with everything in life. Practice reflection, right? I just start writing sometimes, right? Writing is incredibly important for learning about yourself, right? We need to learn ourselves before we can be productive with anything. You can't be in a relationship. You can't have you can't be a trader. You can basically be a mindless moron if you don't do this, right? So
Right.
you have to reflect on your day, right? And that's probably the best advice I can give for anyone, right? And it'll come with time, you know what I mean? if you keep doing that, you'll figure it out over the course of your next 10 years, right? And if you don't want to wait 10 years, then go ahead and be a mindless moron.
Amazing. Okay, all right. All right, people. So this was the end of the podcast here. It was pretty good one. So I hope we see you in the next podcast. All right, guys. So here's your gift that we are doing 5 funded account giveaway. So it's a pretty simple process. All you need to do is just there's a link below in the description. You just need to click that, and you will be redirected to our page where you can sign up. All right. But if you have any question regarding to this giveaway, you all you need to do is just join my Discord group, which is totally free, and you can ask me there. So, guys, thank you for watching the whole podcast. If you did like this podcast, we have some other amazing podcasts on our YouTube channel. And yeah, thank you for joining this amazing trading journey. I hope I see you in the next video. Till then, take care.